This is Irontrader, and this is midday trading. So we're going to take a look here at crude oil and at natural gas. But first of all, we're going to take a look here at Google and at Netflix. A couple stocks that are in play today. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, selling stock, command ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have Google had an upgrade there today. Now you can see a nice big gap up here, which I never like because a lot of times these gaps, just like we had here, always get filled. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually that they do. Okay, so let's just look at the downside here first. First of all, we're looking at this price channel. That's keyed, okay? On a closing basis, 182.49. That's what we're looking for, which is basically just the top of that candle right there, okay? 182.49. Okay, so again, if that's lost here, what we want to do is look for today's low. There's your gap. That's 181.05. And then we want to look to the top of this candle here at 176.26. That's your fill. Okay, so your gap and your fill. Then we have this 8-day right below it at 174.04. And then we have your 21-day sitting at 173.77. Now, this is here looks very, very bullish. Now, again, if it can take off running and we can hold this key level here, this 182.49, then we're going to look at today's high. Okay, so it got all the way up to 186.36. So what we have to do is just go right to the left of the chart here, okay? But first of all, here we just want to take this candle over here, okay? So you're looking at that 183.61 level. So that's pretty much where you're sitting there now. And then what we can do is you just ratchet this right on up here. Bring that price channel right across. And what we got here, you're looking at 188.68. Then we'll come to the top of this candle right here. You're looking at 190.86 and then 191.75. That is your big breakout. Now, the key today is just holding that key price channel, that 182.49 on a closing basis. Again, if it does sell, just watch that key, that today's low, and then watch the top of that candle, that gap and that fill. Then we can run into some really good support here with the 8-day and that 21 simple moving average. But right now, the 8-day is curling up. It broke above very, very nicely. And look at it, 8-day on the way up, 200-day on the way up here, looking very, very nice here, okay? Now, RSI here, plenty of room to run, very, very nice. And then we have your green just crossed your red, so that shows momentum there to the upside. It's just that these gaps like this is just, not really one of my favorite there on the chart because a lot of times what it does, especially when you get all sticky up here, where you have like a topping tail situation, that can fill that gap up on any kind of sell-off going on here. Okay, let's take a look here now at Netflix. Okay, here we have Netflix, your daily and your weekly chart. Now you can see just a beautiful run that this stock has had. Okay, let's just take a look here on the weekly. See all the way 542, all the way up there to 935, very, very nicely here. And look at here, all the way on up here. Look at this. Bottom left, upper right, holding that 8-day knot. Come right down to the 21-day, holding it. Look at this, just beautiful, okay? Now, one thing I just want to say about the tech in here and this market, we're getting to the very, very toppy nosebleed, okay? So eventually, it may not happen this year here, but I'm figuring next year here, you're going to get a pretty good sell-off in a lot of these stocks here because you can see where the volume is going on down, not just because of seasonality, but again, you're just in that nosebleed section on how far could they actually run here. So just always remember that you are going to get a pullback, and I think it's going to be a pretty good correction. So just always keep that in mind and use stop losses. Okay, now we can see here on Netflix, it came down, went below that 8-day, but you know that it closed above this key 8-day. Okay, that's why you want to trade the chart. So this is going to be key on the downside, is at 910.75. That's that 8-day simple moving average. And then what we do is we look to yesterday's low. You got 902.59. Then we can just follow these all the way on down here. What do you got there? You got 898 there. What we have here is we got 888. And then we'll come right down here to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 876. And then here's your key level is going to be at 876.95 level, which lines up pretty nice here with the bottom of that candle, okay? So that's what we have. But right now, this is a very, very bullish chart. But again, see, we have these gaps. See where it's gap and go kind of a situation? So always keep these in mind. You have a sell-off here. This can come off very, very hard, just like it ran up. It can drop here really, really quick here. Shoot, so always keep this in mind on your back burner. 736.23, there's your gap. And then look to the top of that candle, 704.41. Now, I'm not saying that's where it's going to go here today, but eventually these gaps get filled, okay? Now, when you look at this RSI here, you can see there's a negative divergence. See how we have a high here. Okay, we have an even higher high, but we have a lower high there. So we have a negative divergence going on here. So you got to be very, very careful with this kind of a situation. The same with what we have here. Okay, we got the green over your red here, but you are very at nosebleed territories here on these stocks. Okay, so if it does come down here, you always want to watch something like that 8-day, because you just look for the past, see how nice it was holding it, comes down, it goes right down to that 21-day, okay? If that's lost, you come right down to that 50-day here. So always watch that weekly, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to trade off it, but you can trade off that, that daily chart very, very nicely. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. Okay, here we have crude oil, daily chart, weekly chart, one right on top of the other. Now, you can see here, today here, we got ourselves a nice little rally going here. I jumped right into the UCO very, very nicely here, okay? So, let me just see if I can just get that a little bit bigger there for you. Okay, there we go. That's almost too damn big. Okay, here's what we got, okay? So we had this red candle. We had 3 days of sell-off here, and we held this key level right there at that 66.53 very, very nicely, okay? So yesterday we had a higher low and a higher high, but you notice it couldn't get and hold that 8-day and that 21-day on a closing basis. Now today we have a higher high and a higher low. Okay, now it might be possible where we can get that seasonality trade to work itself right back up to that 50-day simple moving average. So on the upside, here's what you want to watch. You want to watch today's high at 69.06, okay? And then what we'll do is we'll just come right over here to the left. You're looking at 69.69. We'll look right here on this candle here at that 70.23. But this is going to be your target, is that 70.37, that 50-day, because you can see how many times we went right into it. Okay, so even like this here, we popped above it, but you notice it didn't last very long, and she came right on back down to here again. Now you can see what on a downtrend that this chart is having. Okay, so you can see all the way here from this double top situation, another double top situation, but we're making a series of lower highs all the way down. You have a downtrending pattern. So I'm not expecting anything different in this time frame, but what I am looking for is if you can hold this key 21-day here at 68.71, and you can hold this key 68.47 on a closing basis. That's the key, not just daily, closing basis. Then we could rally right here to this 70.37 level here very, very nicely. Now, when we look at the weekly chart here, we got to watch this 69.23. That's your 8-day. Now, you can see here, like last week, we popped up above it, but you can't close above it the last couple of weeks here, okay? So that's what we're looking for. Now, I'm not saying you're going to close it above this week, but if you can have a pop, it could have another drop right on down here. And you can see here how your 8 days, look at on a downtrend, your 21-day, everything is leaning on down here because we have a downtrending market here in the crude oil, okay? But we got to see how this is all going to shake out here. Now, again, on the downside, just watch that 21-day, watch that 8-day. If that is lost here, then we just obviously would come to today's low there. You're looking at 67.72. We can look at yesterday's low at 67.08. And then here, we want to look at this red candle on Friday, that's 66.98. And then your retest down there at 66.53. But what I did want to point out to you here, if that 66.53 is lost, and then we have this level right here, 65.27. So when you look at a weekly, it's easier to see here that you got targets all the way down here in the 45 level. Now, I'm not saying that's where it's going to go here, but what you have to watch next is going to be this candle right here, that 63.64. That's going to be key. And then we want to come down to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 61.82. And then we're going to start being right here down in these 50 levels here. And you could work yourself right on down here. But we got to see how this is all going to shake out next year here. But so for today, just watch that 21-day and that 8-day on a closing basis. Let's see if we can close above. And then if we can, your target is going to be that 70.37 level there on the 50-day simple moving average on your daily chart. Okay, let's take a look here now at the old natty gas. Okay, here we have natural gas. Now you can see here where we have another down day today, and really since this morning, really not a whole lot has changed, okay? So what we had is we had this gap up, okay, but now you can see where this gap now right there is filled, okay? So we were watching that bottom of that candle, 3.13, then we're watching here, 3.10, okay? So that gap now is filled. But the key is going to be this 21 simple moving average. You need to close above this, okay? Right now we are right on it, so we have to close above it, okay? So when we look at the upside, what you want to watch is going to be this 8-day at 3.149, okay? If we can get above that, then we can come over here to today's high at 3.18, and then we can even look at yesterday's high at that 3.32 level here. But realistically, we have to hold that 21-day on a closing basis. If that is lost, we're going to look to today's low at that 3.06 level here. Then we can come down here. We're looking at 3.03. We have 3 flat, and then we have 297. And then your big target, if this is lost here, we can follow the candles to the left, but really you're looking at that 50-day at a 2.82 level here. Right now we got sideways action, and it just chops city. I mean, there really isn't anything up here of any value. Now, I did scalp the KOLD a little bit today. I got a 1 point out of that on the short side, but that was pretty much what I got there. It's just nothing here to write home about, where I thought maybe if we could hold this 21-day, then we can take a long up until we to the 8-day and then maybe possibly above. But this is why we trade the charts. We don't guess. Okay. So again, today what you want to watch is that on a closing basis, 3.10, and then watch this 8-day right above it at 3.14. On the downside, watch today's low, and then we can come all the way down these candles here, and then there's your big target all the way on down. Now, we look here, there's no divergences, but you're sitting at 52. That could go down, that could go up. Right here, your green is below your red. This shows momentum there to the downside. So there's nothing really here of, there's a lot better trades out there, like with the crude oil is working there today. Like Google's working, Netflix is working, Tesla is really working here. NVIDIA worked really good there for a while. I had a stop loss in there, thank God, at 141. It got a 141.82, and I got out of that. And then TQQ was a really good buy yesterday. I bought it at 85.20, and then I sold it right out at 87 there today. So actually some really good trading. It's just that you got to be really, really quick in this market here. So there's a lot better trades out there than what's going on here at the natty gas. Okay, that's what I got for you. And I'll be back here after the pit close. We'll take a look at crude oil, natural gas, and then we'll see what else we can throw in the old mix. All right, thanks for watching.